Season 6 playoffs about to get underway. It's good to be back after we missed the season. We missed just the season 5 playoffs, and we did get in, but I don't think we got in by the skin of our teeth. Did we not? No, we didn't. We cleared pretty well. I mean, Columbus was the last team in with 90 points. We had a good 94 points. Honestly, I think we had the potential to finish higher in the standings. If you want to see these full standings broken down a little bit more than this, they're at the very end of the episode before this. So if you really want to see the standings, I'm not going to go over too much at the beginning of this video. Obviously, in this video, if you want to skip straight to gameplay, feel free to do that. But I do want to let you guys know, we're going to go over the Leafs roster, their injuries. We may look at our roster, potentially. And we're going to look at the NHL league-wide stats for the regular season because I forgot to add it to the end of the last video, and I just wanted to be somewhere in this entire GM mode series. I wanted to be in a video, the full season stats in terms of who the best goal scorers, point producers, and the best goaltenders were in the regular season. So we'll look at that information in the very beginning of this video, and as I said, you can feel free to skip all that if you want to. So here's the player stats, and the entire league knows about Jonathan Drouin now. He had a 53. I think I have shown the goal leader in every season in this GM mode so far, so I don't know that anyone has ever eclipsed 53 goals in a GM mode. Drouin may be the first guy I've seen actually hit 50. I don't even know if Ovechkin has ever hit 50. Did Ovechkin even do anything this season? He's not even in like the top 10, it looks like. I do see some names here. So this is sorted by points. So this is the points leaders. Drouin is going to take home both the Richard and the Art Ross trophy. Again, you can skip all this if you want. Big news for McDavid. My God, he's a 93 overall now. So McDavid was already in the game, but what I did before the GM mode started, I edited McDavid's potential. I edited a bunch of stats, his potential. I mean, I want him to be hands down like the best player in the game. And the Vancouver Canucks were lucky to draft him. He's got a 99 power on both his slap and his wrist shot. He's got supreme accuracy. His hands, everything is just almost maxed out stats. Okay, so his physical category, I didn't max that out. But yeah, he hasn't even done growing. He's 22 years old. He is still on that cheap ELC, 2 years left on that ELC. First round, first overall pick in 2015 by the Canucks. This is just his second NHL season. I think that's the scary part. He hit 88 points, 34 goals in his sophomore season in the league. Now as a 93 overall, 20 plus minus. Look out for the Canucks. And Sidney Crosby, 83 points, so a bit of a rejuvenating year for Crosby, being top 3 in points. Because Sid, you can see, point-wise, a bit underproductive for it being Sidney Crosby. 26 goals isn't too bad. A guy that he's capable of hitting 30. And we know full well all about Sid in the real world, but 83 points is a lot closer to what I imagined. I mean, Crosby, he's 31 at this point in the GM mode. He's full well capable of having 100-point seasons, scoring 100 points, over 30 to 40 goals. But the thing is, with this game's pretty weird. So for those of you that don't know this, for whatever reason, offense for even the best players in this game tends to be on the low side, instead of having these guys that can produce extreme amounts of points. But anyway, Stamkos, he's right there with Crosby in that conversation. Lipon, now this guy's kind of come out of nowhere. When was he drafted? Third round pick, 91 overall, 2013 draft by the Winnipeg Jets. Kind of just slid in out of nowhere, 82-point season. Look at this, he had 27 goals, 77 points in 76 games just the season before. He's an 86 overall playmaker. And he's making $5.9 million against the cap for Winnipeg. That's going to work out nicely for them. Parise, Anders Lee, they're Johnny Gaudreau. So Johnny Gaudreau is a created player by me. I didn't download a roster update or anything, so I decided to hell with it. I'm just going to make the player and put him in the game. and serve respect to Johnny Gaudreau, who, of course, we know recently did pass away, unfortunately, way too young, way too early, taken from us. So we put him in the game. I didn't try to necessarily overinflate any of his abilities, but I did try to make him pretty freaking good. Basically, he's a franchise player, franchise-altering player. It's taken him a few years. You can see his NHL stats over the seasons. It's taken him a little while, but he has arrived now. 27 goals, 78-point season, plus 10 rating, 4 power play goals there. He's still not wearing his number 13 because Mike Camilleri has chosen not to either retire or move on from the Calgary Flames just yet. Rick Nash, Sedin, Kucherov. So I'm just going to go down the list now because I'm spending way more time on this than I ought to. Here's what I wanted to look at real quick. Alex Ovechkin, 33 years old now. We are in the 2018-19 season, so at this point in real life, Ovechkin was a Cup champion at this point. Washington has Washington won a Stanley Cup in this GM mode? I don't even know that information. But you can see that Ovechkin is on the low side when it comes to goal scoring. 29 goals here, 35 goals there in 16-17, 32, recently 39. So he almost had a 40-goal season in 82 games. Yes, he played 61 there. In 17-18. Playoff stats, 5 games played, 4 points, 1 goal in that one playoff appearance there that's up here. So there's Ovechkin. I just wanted to show you the goals that even Ovechkin doesn't seem to be scoring a lot of goals in this GM mode. And he has won Maurice Richard trophies by scoring those lower side totals. So anyway, down the list we go, just showing you the top however many top 50, 60, 70, 80 players on points. The leaders on goals, it's not even close. Drouin with 53, no one even touched that. Did we have a player on our team? I thought Max Pacioretty, Sukai Ming may have been the team leader in goals scored. Max Pacioretty had 26. Ming in 60 games played, man, he had 60 games played, he had 27 goals. 53 points. What could have been? If you look back at the season simulation we did in the last video at the very beginning, he was off to a torrid start. I mean, he had a hot start to that simulation. Looked like he was on pace to having a 40, maybe a 50-goal season had he played all 82 games. So there's good news for us when it comes to Sukai Ming. And the goalies sorted by games played. Nobody played more games than Carey Price. He played 69. And I'm going to guess, did he have the best save percentage with the most games played? Should we sort this by sort this by save percentage and then look at the games played? There is Oscar Dansk, but how many games did he play? 24? There's 148 with Mike Smith. He may be the Vezina Trophy winner. 93 save percentage in 48 games. Let's see, though. I mean, Quick played 53. 93 save. It's tough. It could go to a number of goaltenders, honestly. Ludwig with the Philadelphia Flyers had a very respectable year in 63 games played. Carey Price is right there, but 60. See, for me, yes, a little bit higher GAA for Price, and the save percentage is not quite a 90. It's not far from being a 93. He played 69. It's got to be Price. Come on, give him the... I think he's the reigning Vezina Trophy winner anyway in this. So it might be Price. I mean, based on the games played and the stats. But yeah, I just wanted to really quickly look at the goaltenders, like the top goaltenders in the league real quickly. And those Toronto Maple Leafs finally getting to the preview of the team we'll be playing. By the way, for the third time in the GM mode, we'll be playing the Leafs in the playoffs. This time it happens in round number 1. Did we meet the Leafs prior in round 1? I know we faced them in round 2 for sure. No, it was round 3. It was the conference final. So the last time we won the Stanley Cup, we met the Leafs in the conference final, and I believe, spoiler, we swept those Leafs out of that third round. We saw them as well back in Season 2 in Round 2, which was the disappointing playoff round where we just got our balls busted by the Toronto Maple Leafs in that one. You'll take a look at this roster. There is nothing particularly overpowering after that first line. It just tails right off. Not good news for Toronto. I've got some good news for you. On the injury front, you may notice that there is a name missing in the lineup, and I'm going to save it. I'm going to get to that when we look at the injuries, but it's got me feeling a little bit excited about this upcoming series. So there's the Leafs, a snapshot of their forward core, their defense core. Dion Phaneuf, Mike Riley. Why did I say Mike Riley? It's Morgan Riley. Why did I want to say Mike Riley? They got Phaneuf and Riley on the blue line. There is a player missing here, and I'm gonna save it for the injuries front. But there is a key player missing. They drafted him a couple of years ago as a top draft pick. So that's a key piece of information for you there. But this is the D core. It's not terrible, honestly. I mean, an 83, Franzen on the second pair, not too bad. Boland's a forward. Oh, that's bad news. Okay, so the Leafs, for some reason, they must be up against the cap, and they can't call a defenseman up, so they have to put a forward in there. That may be why. So they got Boland playing third pair because of the injury that they have on D. So, I didn't even pay attention to that. I looked at the Leafs lines and their injuries after I finished recording the last episode before this, and I'm pretty excited for this. Snapshot of the power play. First power play unit, pretty good. Pretty damn good first power play, but man, a second power play unit probably not going to do a whole lot of anything. I should probably shut my mouth. In goal, it hasn't changed, not even a cent. It is Reimer and Bernier again. Did we run into, was it Reimer that they went with the previous time we faced him? I'm not surprised that it's James Reimer. Based on overall rating, you might want to go with the 83 over the 82, but this is the Leafs' decision-making. I'm actually curious about the goaltender stats. Let's look at that. I just want to see the stats of what happened this year. Basically a 50-50 split between Bernier and Reimer in the regular season. Bernier is now a 30-year-old goaltender. He has 1 year left at 1.6, so that's a cheap deal for the goaltender there. Four White Star potential. Reimer is probably the guy that they're going to over Bernier in the net to start the series and in every game in this series. He has 2 years left, 1.3 million. 4 White Star potential as well for Reimer. Now the stats-wise, Reimer, did he have a down year as opposed to last year? He played 44 games as opposed to 36 the previous season, so that's more games for him. He had a .925 and a 2.31, so he might be the guy that you want in the crease. That .925 save percentage is pretty good. How many shots did he see? He saw over 1,300 shots seen in... Oh, where's the minutes at? Minutes played. Did I skip it? It's at the very front, isn't it? Minutes, yeah. In way more minutes in net than in 17-18. Bernier, 43 games played. Less minutes than Reimer did. He got less minutes, obviously, and he saw less shots. Had a .924, 2.3, so very similar numbers. Honestly, you could go either which way with either of these two goaltenders. Last thing to look at, injuries. First, this is the Canadiens injury report. Tamernis is back. I think we put him in the lineup for this one. I think he's going to be in the lineup. His return date isn't until April 26th, but it's a playable injury coming off of a concussion. Ellis is gone until May with a fractured collarbone. Butler has pulled his groin. Toronto is missing a lot. On D, they're missing Trevor Daley. They are missing Joffrey Lupul. This is the big name. You know how Lupul has feasted on the Canadiens in playoffs past. He just finds ways to just score goals. It's like this guy is a robot sent from hell to score goals on my Canadiens team in this GM mode. Well, he's out with a concussion. If he comes back at all for the postseason and the Leafs go far enough, I don't know by what means the Toronto Maple Leafs would make it to the Stanley Cup final, he wouldn't return until maybe the final. A fractured ankle for Aaron Ekblad. Now, this is the defenseman that I mentioned that the Leafs drafted and is not in the lineup. I don't know what Ekblad is overall-wise at this point, but he's a very good defenseman, and we know that from our Flames GM mode that he grows, and when he grows, he gets really good. He's like going to get up to like an 89, 90 overall defenseman when he's fully done growing. They're also missing Frederic Gauthier with post-concussion syndrome until June 17th, so not likely to see Lupul or Gauthier in the playoffs. I mean, hell, you may not see Ekblad or Daley. All four of these guys missing the first round. The skill that they're missing, 85 overall, Joffrey Lupul. And in 73 games played, 51 points, 23 goals. But who cares about what his regular season stats look like? He always seemed to torch my team when we ran into him in the playoffs. He's got 1 year left. He'll be a free agent if he doesn't retire at 35 years of age. Frederic Gauthier at center, 83 overall player, 23 years young. 2 years remaining on that deal. 4 Green Star potential players, still could potentially still growing. 13 goals, 19 points on the year in 65 games. So not really a big point or a goal producer. He doesn't chip in a ton offensively. He's done more in 65 games, though, this season than he did in 82 the previous year. Still, 83 overall, and those attributes, that's a big one that they're missing right down the middle. Trevor Daley, 85 overall D on the blue line. Yes, he's 35, probably the last year of his career. He may retire after this playoffs is done and over with. In 48 games, 12 points, 1 goal. But yeah, nobody's really paying attention to what you're doing offensively, especially if you're a plus 13, 85 overall. And what's funny about Daley is I was offered Daley in a trade by the Dallas Stars, but I turned it down. I didn't want anything to do with Daley. He was not the defenseman I was looking for. And Aaron Ekblad, 82 overall right now, but you see the potential. Ekblad has not been edited, by the way. I did not touch Ekblad before I started the GM mode because of what I experienced as GM of the Flames when we drafted Ekblad. He grew on his own tremendously in a few seasons. He'll be there eventually, maybe by the time he's further into his mid-20s, maybe 26, 25, 26 years old. He will reach that high 80s overall rating. That's his attributes in front of you. This is the stats from 72 games played, playing 27 games, 6 games the year before this, and then 72 games in the league. Injuries creating a little bit of adversity. Hey, Toronto. They are beat up and banged up. We need to take full advantage of this. Man, it's been a long time, and I'm lucky to have recovered to a point that I'm prepared to do playoff games again and shout into a microphone at a video game that I'm playing on my television screen. And, all too prepared to play the Toronto Maple Leafs. We've got them in their alternate jerseys this time around. Last time we were in the playoffs, we missed Season 5, so we didn't make the Season 5 playoffs. Last time around, nice save there by Price. I'm a little bit nervous. Oh, JVR flings it through the crease. Last time around, we faced the Leafs in the conference final. Toronto is off to a quick start. Subban pulls it off the goal line. My God. So I'm a little nervous because I don't know what my AI sliders were going into the last postseason that we did, but I made sure. I lost track of the puck there. I made sure to max out the AI learning and the AI strategy adjustment. So both of those are maxed out, and I don't know what my settings were the last time around, but I want to make this a difficult playoff run to go on. I am not prepared to record this, obviously, by my commentary. I'm all over the place with what I'm trying to talk about. Leafs are missing Joffrey Lupul. That's a key piece. No Daley, no Ekblad. We're mostly healthy aside from, I think, 2 basically depth defensemen. We got Su Kai Ming on the ice. He missed quite a few games in the regular season due to injury. LeBlanc getting to it. We got this second line out here. Krug, a new member of the Canadiens. Tamernis slaps one. I believe that's high to the shoulder of, was it Reimer in the net? Is that who they went with? They went with James Reimer in the net. Keane brings it along before he's poke checked off the puck. Klitzum brings it in. Offside for the Maple Leafs. I don't know how I'm feeling about this alternate Leafs jersey, but I thought I'd change it up here for Season 6. Maybe the Leafs are celebrating something, or I don't know. You know, when I was younger, I liked this Leafs jersey to the point that I almost wanted to buy one. I actually liked the Leafs logo on the front. And as I've gotten older, I don't like this jersey as much, and I like the current Leafs logo that they wear on their jerseys just now. And by the way, do you know who has the puck here? Freaking Danny Heatley. He almost pulled it off, the Heatmeister. We traded for Heatley out of desperation. I lost so many forwards and so many pivotal forwards to injury that I decided in desperation to make a trade for Mr. 50 and 07, and my God, he can do more than just score 50 goals. What a hit that was. Walk in the blue over to Babchuk. We're going to cut back away from the pressure. D, swing it to Dumoulin, who's only in the lineup because we got injuries. Heatley, and Heatley got forced to the ice. He forced the puck in on Reimer, I believe it was. Back to the point again. We're going to send that, but it will get blocked on its way in. Ashton brings it ahead. I believe Ashton's just going to send this in. He's a one-man effort. Dumoulin behind his own crease. So I can feel that I bumped up the AI a little bit. There's very little that I can do to make the AI any more difficult than it already is. This is superstar difficulty. I almost had a goal set up for Brian Bickle. Heatley trying to set up Bix. And we brought in Bickle as a free agent in the offseason. I felt we needed some size, and I also feel really bad for real-life Brian Bickle because of his diagnosis with MS. I remember when that all happened. I remember I was in school, I was going to university, and Bickle was on the Hurricanes, and I remember when the announcement was made that he had found out he had MS and how just bad I felt for him and how devastated he appeared to be. So I had to bring Bickle along and put him on the lineup. As I mentioned, add some size as well. You got some Stanley Cup pedigree, a champion with the Blackhawks, although we picked up this with did we pick this up with the 13-14 season? So he would have been a champion with the Blackhawks before this GM mode started. Pacioretty draws a crowd to him. Subban tied up with Marchand. We're going to go back to the point, Pacioretty. Oh, I didn't mean for that to go to Subban. We'll fling it back down low just to keep it in the zone. A little bit all over the place right now. Harassing Morgan Riley on our way back out of the zone here. Knocked down at center ice. Flushed out on the dump in. This will be LeBlanc to retrieve from Montreal. Bumps into, I believe that's Kadri wearing 43 on the ice. Still here in Toronto. Fanned on play from the low to high feed. Another fanned on slap shot. We got to get this out of the zone. And we can lead the Singaporean Sidney Crosby. This is Sukai. Oh my God, Sukai Ming is dirty. That was unbelievable. If I had scored with that, that would have been an all-time goal. You need to do that against no other team than the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm still brushing off a lot of rust right now. I haven't done commentary and gameplay in over a month now. And for those that don't know, I went through a whole ordeal in the month of November with hyperacute. And there's a goal for the Toronto Maple Leafs. It was kind of a fluke rebound that was just laying there, and they scuttle it over the blue line. James Wright gets his first of the postseason. Never heard of this guy until now. Now you know. You know who he is now. He's making an enemy out of me now. So for those that don't know, I mean, in the entire month of November, I was exposed to basically a very loud truck exhaust. It gave me all kinds of problems. Eustachian tube dysfunction and ear infection. Tinnitus. I suffered hyperacusis, which is basically, it's like your brain turns the volume up on all noises. In fact, I couldn't even, for the first couple of days, I couldn't even stand the volume of my own voice. Ming, and the net comes free. It barely did. He's out here hot dogging the puck. He may put it in the back of the net before the game is over. I would love to see that. We had a delicious dangle move and a spinorama with him on a sequence just not that long ago, and then we had that windmill opportunity. Krug walking middle, covered tightly at the point. The AI strategy and learning is bumped up to a maximum, so they'll figure out how I like to play soon enough, and then I'll have to make the strategy adjustment. For right now, I'm sure the Leafs love where they're sitting. They have the lead. We did a really great job. Oh my gosh, that was dangerous. It careened off of Krug. I'm going to elevate this into this. That's out of play. Supposed to dump that into the zone. We did a really good job of limiting the Leaf opportunities in the Eastern Conference final matchup we had back in Season 4. Of course, we went on to win the Stanley Cup. It just felt like we're really offside with it. Okay, I guess I'll tag up. Somebody went offside on that dump in. But it felt like we just ran roughshod through the entire league on that playoff run. And then we I think through the first 3 rounds, we lost 1 game. Was it 1 game that we lost? And then we ran into the Colorado Avalanche in that Stanley Cup final. Backdoor, Bickle scores off of the goaltender. And he does indeed get on the board. It was too easy of a backdoor move. We have a tie game at 1. We seem to have really frantic first periods when we play playoff games in Toronto for some reason. I don't know what it is. The conference final matchup we had here. We had the first 2 games we played in Toronto. The 2 games we played in Toronto were crazy. The first period specifically. So I don't know what kind of night we have in store for us or what kind of series we have in store. It's very important that we get off on the right foot, obviously, and try to win the first game in the series. Already seeing the Leafs getting into some forechecking action. I'm going to saucer this along. He's a little behind Pacioretty. He's going to do whatever the hell that was. Boy, Tamernis absorbing full contact. So too can the rest of the Leafs roster tonight. Hopefully we can put plenty of heavy bodies on. There's one. Foster given right back by Tamernis on the body collision. I want to point out, by the way, that I'm doing this gameplay and commentary with a minor headache. So I'm not feeling my greatest, but I'm going to battle through. Up the boards it will go for Brad Marchand. We're going to dump this in on a slap dump. They're actually stacking up on the blue line. Did you see that? As I had no choice but to dump that in. That was the absolute right play. We got to be able to get back to the puck on the forecheck if we're going to dump the puck in. Nice play. Duchesne, I mean, for some reason, we're breaking out all the spin moves. Duchesne handling for Kamayev. Is that Kamayev? Is that indeed who that was? Barely a save made there by the Leafs netminder. We're going to jump up on this. Subban tries to lift it back in. Duchesne bumped free of the puck by Nazem Kadri. Along for the right-handed shot of Phil Kessel, who brings it in, trying to get that play made off the rush. Subban along the opposite side boards. It'll land for Kamayev on the twig here. Kamayev toe drag move. He's in behind the net for LeBlanc. Watch out for Kadri. Kamayev turns, fires, glove safe. Breimer frantically plays that. That was not a best decision making by the goaltender there. I would have covered that. Keane, we can take a nice little run at him, but he's going to get the puck out to center ice for Kadri. Resets for Klitzum. Klitzum free to Kuhlman, and along the boards for Keane, who has no choice but to try and dump that in, but he was thwarted by Hedman. Keane gets it back off of Hedman, shoots it on the net. Hedman up to center for Lars Eller. We're going to do a little drag spin-em-rama move. Cut move to the outside. Heatley fans on the one-timer as it deflected toward him. To this first is Dumoulin, plays it softly off the boards. Kuhlman gets to it first ahead of Heatley, who is pressured by Heatley. Helm behind the net for Boland, who's playing D, by the way. So I forgot that Boland is playing D. There is an explanation for that. I believe that the Toronto Maple Leafs, because of all their injuries on D, and they may not have any cap space, so they had no choice but to plant a forward at D. We went through this in the regular season ourselves. A bit of a dangerous spinorama move, which has led to this opportunity for Toronto and Kuhlman. It'll be the end of the period. That'll be the horn. We have a 1-1 game on the scoreboard. There's not a lot of space to work with. I'll tell you, with the AI bumped up, with the AI learning maxed out, and the strategy adjustment maxed out, they really do get on you when you have the puck on your attacking zone blue line. They did that before, but it seems like it's even more exaggerated. Because of this goal by Bickle, we have a tie game going into the first intermission. I feel like I'm all over the place, at least from a commentary perspective. And I may feel differently when I edit this video together and check out the playback and see how it feels to me in the future, but it feels like it is a little bit all over the place. But it's like I said, it's been about a month. I'm a little rusty. I haven't done gameplay for this in a month. I certainly haven't done commentary for anything in a month, other than commentating on simulations for the regular season and the off season. But I haven't commentated and done gameplay in a while. And this Leafs team's playing us pretty hard. I got to give it up to them. Imagine what they could do if they had a full roster. Pacioretty a couple of moves to get space to the outside. D to D for Subban. We want to let him light it up, but he's going to miss the net. Pacioretty back to the point. That was an inadvertent pass. Shouldn't have been made. Subban pulls it back over to Hedman. Hedman for Subban. I want to get that Subban shot away to the pad. Duchesne is on that rebound, but covered by James Reimer. Subban is a 2-time Conn Smythe Trophy winner in this GM mode, but he is not the defending Conn Smythe Trophy winner. I believe that went to Mike Smith and the Coyotes. Is that incorrect? I believe Mike Smith was the Conn Smythe winner, and he had a hell of a season in the regular season again this year. Clips him along the boards for Keane. Franzen back to Keane, and a cross-rink feed. Knocked down here by the Canadiens. Kamayev can't hold on to it. Klitzem under pressure. From this second line, it involves Ming with Kamayev. Kamayev actually knocks down the pass. Got to get back properly on D. Tamernis and Krug, the D pairing on the ice for the Habs. We got a line change? No, we just got a beautiful stretch move to Kamayev. He goes skate to stick and then is bodied. Flung for LeBlanc and held onto by Reimer before Ming could get to that second chance opportunity. And the rough stuff begins after the whistle. I will give you a proprietary blend of my fist to your face in this series. Certainly will, Toronto. Don't stir it up yet. You don't know what you got coming to you. We got a bit of a rivalry here. I mean, Toronto's beaten us once in the playoffs, in a playoff round in the GM mode, and we've beaten them once in the playoffs. And not only did we beat them once, but we went on to win the Stanley Cup the year that we knocked them out in the conference final. So all the more satisfaction to me. Eller. It's holding this good stick lift. They're really tough to, man, they're putting us under so much pressure. Got to send that puck down low. Rhett Rockshani, acquired out of free agency. I remember when this guy was a member of the Islanders, and we faced his Islanders in the playoffs. Oh, Rockshani. Gallagher off the pad. There's a lot of crazy, flimsy plays going on the ice. Chalmerson, low to high feed in front for Gallagher. He's going to fling it on the backhand. It'll get rejected down low. Keep that cycle play going. Chalmerson had possession. There's a bit of a smaller line there with Rockshani and Gallagher. And Gallagher snipes it on the feed from Bickle. He's got a 2-point night. I don't know how they lost Gallagher. Something was lost in translation on that attempt to get out of the zone. I think did we keep the puck in? Bickle just circles back into the zone. 3 Leafs defenders are focused on Brian Bickle by themselves. Room aplenty for Gallagher to score. And, you know, I thought about trading Gallagher at multiple points in the offseason and in the regular season sim that we just finished leading into this playoffs. I'm glad I didn't send that guy to a different team. We're going to lift this into the zone. We're going to have to. And the Leafs are stacking up on that blue line. They're making a good adjustment. That's you, Duchesne. Well, back down low. Penalty. Oh, my goodness. Okay, Max Pacioretty and Phaneuf. They're going to tangle right here in front of James Reimer because Pacioretty obviously ran into Reimer. I don't know what went on that play. I looked up and those two were dropping the gloves to throw fists here. Winner gets a cup of Tim Hortons and some Timbits. Is that what we're fighting over in front of the Tim Hortons sign here? Who's going to win this one? This is it's going to be Pacioretty. He gets all the Timbits. That went down to the final blow. Reimer just standing there in front of the cage that has been knocked off of its moorings. And you see, wow, I think he sold it. I think he sold it a little bit. The contact wasn't that extreme. Come on. Get out of town. And he's just standing there observing this battle that's going on between Pacioretty and Phaneuf. Just retire, Phaneuf. That was embarrassing. No, that was honestly, that was a pretty good scrap. It could have gone either way. Really good to see the rivalry is alive and well. The puck out of play into the bench on that body collision. So will the Leafs answer back with a strong offensive possession? That's kind of the question that I pose, is what will the Leafs have in store offensively in response to the way this game has gone? The fact they've blown the lead and now, of course, trail in the game. That's us. We got to be on that puck. I thought Kamayev was going to have it. Ming has it. Stick lift away from Franzen, not successful. Franzen with a great move on D, a great play on D to get that puck back, and the Leafs can go the other way. They test Price with a dump in. All the time in the world. Well, not that much time. Ming with a pass to no one but Franzen. That was a blatant giveaway. JVR dumps it in. Come on, Heater. Danny Heatley, you still got some 50-07 type magic left in you. Oh my God. Danny Heatley. He doesn't need Spezza or Alfredson to be a beast out here. He just needs the motivation of being a Canadian. Krug to the net, saved by Reimer. So I kind of have to play this a little more realistically because I don't have that much space, and the AI, they're moving so quickly all over the D zone. They get right on you. So if you're going to go back to the point like I did with Krug before this whistle we just took, I almost kind of feel that I have to shoot it on the net immediately. It's either shoot it or make a move to fake out the defender that's going to get on you. So right here, Babchuk, we got to move to the inside. We'll just risk this. Blocker down by Reimer. Chase that down on Bolin. Biggs will carry it away. This is Babchuk defending. Get that stick in the lane. Biggs on Price. We're going to play it, which was a dangerous decision from Price. We're going to reverse that back up the boards. Brendan Gallagher has a goal in this game. We're going to skate it because we're going to get space to skate this in to the inside. Gallagher shoots, and it is batted away. Babchuk back into the zone, out of play off a Leafs player. That was some random chaos going on there. That was a nice move to the interior by Gallagher. He just shot it right off the shoulder, right into, almost into the crest, actually, of Reimer. So a pretty simple save. This should be a D-zone face-off. It will be. Duchesne to take the draw, opposed by... I'm not even sure who he was opposed by. I'm not as familiar with this Leafs lineup at this point. It's so different, especially because of the injuries that they are dealing with. They got quite a few players in the lineup that probably shouldn't be. Why did the net come off down here? We don't have a fight over that. See, we're not... And they run into Price! And look at that. You know, we're not giant piss babies because you ran into our goaltender. 16. I'm going to remember the number. I don't know the name. But I will remember the face and the number. Oh my gosh. Subban, what do I have? Walking down the half wall, cutback move. Yeah, you got nothing for PK. Got nothing for PK. They really don't. High to the shoulder again, kept in by Hedman. Got to make a move to the inside. We will not make that move to the inside. Up for Heatley. Punch to the outside, cut back into it, into your own pass. Heater, drop pass for Subban. Down the wall, Subban. I'm going to shoot low. There it is. I don't know if that got through, but it got blocked. But anyway, we'll do a blank jump right on the ice here. Put pressure on Kuhlman. No pinch. No pinch. Too aggressive if we pinch there. They got a stretch pass here waiting for Keane. He's going to dump it in. Cross corner dump. It goes. It bounces. A chop move by Subban. Price handled the rebound. Oh, Kadri off the side of the net. Probably shouldn't have chopped at that puck, but I made my decision and I have to live with it. Marchand. Circle back move. Nice stop. Looking for space, just trying to get this anywhere I can. No way this play's onside. That was a dumb pass right into covered territory on the ice in front of James Reimer. Pressure on JVR. Kessel for Bolin. It's an open area on the ice, but Bolin will send it in. We're playing them well on the blue line. This game is flying along. I'm very pleasantly surprised by how quick this game is played out. I need room to orchestrate, and the Leafs are just giving me none. Even tougher when you got a smaller or, you know, bottom six line on the ice. That's off the back of the net. Nice shove for number 16. I still don't know who 16 is. Off of Price. Rebound for Ashton. Price handled it as well. Franzen is nudged along by Brian Bickle. Back to center. We haven't seen any penalties or any power plays, which is an interesting observation I have to make here. I got a box out in front of the net here. I have Krug. Shot blocked down. It bounces away from Bickle. Ashton on the net. A couple of big saves from Carey Price there. The most action he's seen all evening. Bickle inadvertently kicked out along right. Defended by Su Kai Ming. Still not gathered by the Canadiens. Leafs hold possession. Bickle comes away with it. He'd be wise to dump it in. We'll just dump it on the net. Missing altogether. Chop back in by Ming. Falk to possession. Pressured by Bickle. Up to right. On the wing for Keane. He brings it up the right side. Dumoulin sends it back along for Babchuk. That was a dangerous play. We're going to dump this hard off the glass and in. Should be able to get to this forecheck. Kamayev shovels it along. Ming in front. He's going to be harassed by Falk in front of Reimer. Franzen. Rink long pass. Finds a Leafs winger. He's going to send it in on Price. It'll be one and done for the Leafs. Rakshani receives the pass. Backdoor. And it's barely stopped, but it trickles over the goal line. It's not enough for Reimer as the backdoor feed to Danny Heatley. Yeah, that's right. Danny Heatley has a goal in this playoffs. We have scored 2 cross-crease goals in this game, or cross-crease passes. I don't know what's going on with the Maple Leafs defense. I mean, they're covering. I mean, it could be that you have a forward on D. That might have something to do with it. But their defense is just drawn toward covering the puck carrier and not the guy skating toward the back door. I don't know for what reason. We should be out of the zone pretty quickly here. I see Matt Duchene. And Duchene's services in this game may not be needed. Save. It's trickling around there on the shot put on by Marchand. Pacioretty was looking to put it into the net. Phaneuf is looking to get round 2 with Pacioretty as well. Well, you're not going to get your sloppy seconds here. I'm just going to tell you that much. Reimer didn't have this fully covered. So Pacioretty full well could have slapped that into the net or whacked it in. Stay with us, Rakshani. Around the world. Rakshani puts it on the backhand. That was a nice save by Reimer. Good, patient, calm save. Important save as well. If Toronto wants to give themselves a shot in the arm, try and stay in this one. No way. Danny Heatley. Gangbusters. Okay, well, Danny Heatley's going to skate into James Reimer and knock the net free. On that breakaway opportunity that got quickly silenced by the back check of the Maple Leafs. No fight over this one. I don't think they want to mess with Heater. That guy's the fucking all-star. Don't mess with Heatley. He is the all-star. Unfortunately, we don't have Heatley in his prime. So we're just going to end the period right here. That's good with me. The Leafs trail 3-1, entering the third period of play. I'm surprised, honestly, that the shots are 22-19 in favor of the Canadiens. I didn't feel like there were that many shots on goal. There's been a lot of dump and chase in this one, and it feels like it's not been the most action-packed, jam-packed game because that was a big hit. There isn't a lot of room to work with for either side in this one. We got to defend this well. We'll leave that for Kessel. He can take that shot. It's a pretty easy save for Price. I'm going to let Duchene take this. He can work some of his magic. That'll trickle away off of Riley. Big hit on Kai. I knew it was coming. Where'd the puck go? Oh, we have the puck here. Spinorama move by Duchene at his own blue line, and he comes away with it anyway. Dropped off for Brad Marchand. He does it between the legs, and he missed. I didn't even know I could do a deke like that. Look at this move by Matt Duchene. Feeds it for Pacioretty. Save. We run again into Reimer. Reimer's been run into 3 times in this one, and including twice by Pacioretty. Big stretch pass up to Van Riemsdyk. He just throws it on the net. He knew he was a one-man chance. Not going to be out of the zone. Kept in. Wide off the glass. Pass carry. Price Helm throws it back in on the Canadiens' goaltender. Puck chop. Successful. LeBlanc plays it off the boards to himself. It deflects before Klitzum. Ming's going to go to the box. First penalty of the game is going to be to Sukai Ming of the Canadiens. Crazy that to this point in the game, we haven't actually seen a power play. This will be the first one in the game. Despite having the penalty slider jacked up for both sides. Yeah, it was a slash, a little frustrated. We didn't come away with the puck initially. I was just trying to stick lift. Well, whoever had that, I think it was Klitzum. We need to win this on the forehand with Gallagher. We got Gallagher killing the ball. Why is Gallagher to the center? It might be because Ming is in the box. That was a close deflection. Holy crap. And this is the danger. You can't put the Leafs on this big power play opportunities in these games. We'll kick this up the boards. Maybe oh, no, Tamernis, you're way too far up. That was way too aggressive. Look at this. Babchuk has to cover your ass. Good play by Tamernis. Maybe it wasn't such a bad thing. Or maybe it was. That's wide. I'm going to wait for this to come to me. Send it up. Gallagher. Up and over Deke. No, that's fine. That actually works out. Saucer pass. Misses Marchand altogether. Franzen's going to skate it away. I got to clean this rebound up that Price gave. Out of the zone. Down the rink. Reimer's going to play it. Now, this is where he can run into some trouble. Nope, in position. Don't worry about a big body check. Just play positional hockey here on this kill. Duchene, you got to skate. Skating legs, Duchene. You're in. Well, how are you going to force that wide? Duchene also runs into James Reimer. I think we got secret agents on the ice trying to take James Reimer out of the series altogether. I don't know why we'd be so afraid of him. We've tacked up 3 goals tonight, which has been no big problem. We haven't needed a power play to do it either. Oh, it's right there. Man, this is dangerous. Now, when they start throwing it to the net like this and we get all these second and third chance opportunities, we are running into some problems here. Up to Marchand. We got to send this in. So I'm going to just chip this. Oh, come on, Phaneuf. Let me chip that past you. He's got some friends here, Foster does. He's going to cut back toward his own blue line. Send it toward Price. That'll be a rare whistle for Carey Price and probably the smartest thing we can do at this stage of the game. I think we've got a good little game plan. We come out with this weak side lock approach that we've done in the past, in different playoff series of the past in this GM mode. We're going to continue that trend until it doesn't work for us. The biggest thing is we've been able to keep the Leafs silent off the rush. They did get the first goal in the game, but we've kept them silent off the rush, and they got their goal on second chance opportunity as well. So that's just hammers home my point of not letting the Leafs establish multiple chances. And they like to shoot the puck a lot. As soon as they get inside the zone, they just like to throw it on Price. We got to use that to our advantage. But Hedman's taking a really dumb penalty for tripping. So I talked about that. We can't take these dumb penalties. They get a goal here, and suddenly it's a completely different game. And suddenly it becomes a 1-goal deficit that they have to erase instead of 2, with plenty of game left. There's a lot of regulation play available to the Toronto Maple Leafs here. And there it is, right off the face-off, Phil Kessel. No time wasted. Bada bing, bada boom. Kessel, 3-2 game. Just can't do this. We just cannot do this. I mean, no time for anyone to really even react in any way, shape, or form. The only person that could have done anything about this was Price, and I don't blame Price for a quick snapshot goal from none other than Phil Kessel on the face-off. Imagine if they had Lupul. Goodness gracious, I don't want to think about if Lupul was on the ice or Aaron Ekblad on the ice for this team. We've seen season 2. I have PTSD from season 2. I have nightmare flashbacks from that playoff series and how quickly the Leafs can score a couple of goals. And this is what we're getting hemmed into our own zone now, which is a problem. I need to go wide with this. That's perfect. Now I'm going to cut back. Duchesne is not really open. He was not really a prime option on that play. Further behind the net. Here it is, Marchand. I don't have any friends here. Oh, behind the net. Stay there, Duchesne. You got to support this play. Back down low. We're working a little cycle here. Protect the puck. To the middle. Shoot. I'll take it. It's a shot. It's the one shot that we got. And there goes my control freaks off of my controller. Don't need one. Oh, well, my goodness. The puck was right there. We had an open cage to score on, and we couldn't make it happen. Well, I hate that we couldn't make that work. Does he have a bandage on his head? I looked down to pick up what fell on the floor, which was the control freak. And when I looked up, I saw the coach for the Toronto Maple Leafs, I suppose. And it looked like he had like a bandage or something on his head. Did he get hit by a puck? A puck has gone into the bench in this game, but it didn't go into the bench violently. Seal him off. That was right at the whistle. Don't come at me, garbage. Oh, yeah. That was a nice hit. Garbage-ovsky. I got him 2 times. Both times technically after the whistle. I think. So we got pretty much exactly half the period to play. Half the third for the Leafs to make a game out of it. They have made a game out of it by getting that power play marker. Does Healy's got some speed, man. He's got some freaking wheels. 35-year-old out here looking like he's 19 again. Almost scored on that, too. We had a good move to get to the behind the defense and get to the goaltender. I'm going to wrap this along, Rakshani. Send it in. Did we change? I think we dumped it in and everyone else changed except for LeBlanc, which is fine with me. We need to get fresh legs on the ice. A wholesale change, not necessarily bad with me. It's pretty good with me. Watch out, LeBlanc. Ooh. They're making it tough on me. Ming Protect the puck. Stay with it. Stay with it, Ming. And when we got eliminated in Season 2, we didn't have a guy named Su Kai Ming on this team. And then I introduced him to the Toronto Maple Leafs in Season 4 when we met in the conference final. That he was too much to be dealt with in that conference final. Clean that rebound up. Let's go. Out of the zone. No more opportunities for Toronto. No way Kamaev's offside. I thought he was going to dance into the zone with that move. 29 shots faced, Price. You've done a great job. He's been pretty stalwart in the net. He's been every bit as good as we've needed him to be, but this game is far from over. 1 goal for the Leafs. Quickly, we'll tie this one. We need to be thinking about that. Keep that in the back of our minds. Push for offense. The basic game plan is we need to go for it offensively. We don't want to sit back on our heels, go into our little turtle shell. We'll allow them to shoot it on Price like that as much as they want, so long as Carey can make the save. So this will be dumped in. Caught by Reimer and just dangerously played. Almost gave Gallagher a free opportunity. I don't know where Dumoulin's going. He's just all over the place. Set up positionally correct when the Leafs are trying to bring it in. I'm going to go rink wide up to Heatley. Spin move by Danny Heatley. Deke move by Danny Heatley. Cross for Hedman, who nudges into Phaneuf. We're just killing time right now. Kill the clock. Okay, and everyone wants to go offside. I've been impressed with Heatley's moves. Like, his hands are golden. He is the golden child. A 35-year-old golden child for this Canadiens team. Hoping to take out the Maple Leafs. Oh my goodness. Pacioretty has been all around James Reimer in this game. And he ran into him again there. That one made sense. The puck was free. It was in the crease, and he didn't have it fully covered. Final 4 minutes to go. We haven't had a single power play in this game. This would be a great time to draw one, to be honest. You got to be kidding me, Subban. You have to shoot the puck there. Reimer missed the net. That's a huge break that he missed the net. We're going to send this along. Pacioretty. Oh, my goodness. Over for Duchesne. Now back for Pacioretty. And we couldn't connect on the return feed. Couple of big moments in this game here in the late stages. A breakaway and then a 2-on-1 that we did not execute at all. Do not let them tie the game on this possession. Go, Marchand. Let Marchand have that puck. I don't have any friends. I do in Subban Hedman. Oh, you know that stung. Ming. Oh my God, Ming, don't be injured. That was a big hit. And that's a second one on LeBlanc. My God, clits him. Can't put my players in vulnerable positions like this. Krug, settle it on the bounce. It is not. Keane, back to Phaneuf. Caught by Price. I was worried about the dangerous clutch goal of the Maple Leafs. I tried to make a move with Su Kai Ming, and instead I put him in a vulnerable spot, and then the same thing happened to LeBlanc. He was just stationary before he got all ran over in the attacking zone. This is the highlight montage of Price, but is the montage a curse? Has the game just cursed Carey Price? Did he make a save on that? No, that was a miss. That was an all-out miss from JVR on the breakaway chance. But still, Price was staring down the barrel of a full-fledged breakaway from the Maple Leafs. Ming, come on. Crucial win by Su Kai Ming, my center. I'm going to take this with Krug. Look at the space we have. No empty net yet. Pull it back, send it down low. We got to just win and grind the battles down low. Ming into the net! Into the net, Su Kai Ming. We don't need an empty net goal. We will score it with Reimer planted in the blue paint himself. And that's his first of this playoffs. He was on a goal-scoring tear in the regular season. He's going to need to be every bit as good as he was in the regular season in this postseason run. Glove side, just inside the post. Huge. The Singapore Crosby. We'll be talking about this guy for decades to come. He's not done. The crazy part, he's not even done growing. Sorry, Lars Eller. I mean, our guys have been put in some precarious positions out here. Don't let Franzen have that easy chance. He shouldn't have even had a second chance opportunity to begin with. We need to defend that better, even in the late phases. You know, I got my timeout. I could take it. See, Heatley's not just scoring goals tonight, he's throwing bodies. He gets back at Klitzum for some of the big hits that he's thrown in this game. He has been in charge of throwing the body for the Maple Leafs multiple times in this game. We're going to take this away. Rhett Rakshani, the former Sabre or Islander. Did I say Islander in this game? Heatley back to the point. Krug, just get your wrist shot empty net goal. There's really no point in really doing a celebration. It's as easy as they get. Heatley could have taken it, but he passed it back to the point to let Torrey Krug handle those duties of potentially definitively icing this game. This game is definitely over. It's not potentially over, it's definitely over. This is a good foot to get off on. Get off on a good foot in the series. Put the right foot forward. You always want to win that first game, especially being on the road. That's the important part that I can't emphasize enough is we're on the road to start in a hostile environment like Toronto. At the Canadiens going into Toronto, playing the Maple Leafs in a playoff first-round series. That was a big save. Saved again. That'll be the game right there. Can we shoot one more time? Nope, but that's fine with me because the horn has sounded on 3 periods of play. Canadiens take game 1 in regulation. It's just one of 16 that we need to win in order to lift the Stanley Cup for the 3rd time in the GM mode, but that is what is on my mind. We come out with authority, much like Pacioretty did when he ran into James Reimer for about the 100th time this evening in this game. And who had the game-winning goal in this one? That's what I don't know. It was not Su Kai Ming. It was, I believe it was Danny Heatley. Danny Heatley with the game winner.